Hey guys, what's up? This is the Evil Force here, and yes, I'm gonna do yet another tier element deck list for you guys because Magnus with Mavens is now finally legal here in the TCG, which means Ishizu cards, Earth Berries, Ishizu tier elements. Yay, hooray! Just like in the OCG, how it is a really big meta contender over there. It's going to be just as big in the TCG here, and I'm just gonna get straight down to the deck list because my list is like really nothing out of the ordinary. It's really similar to the list in the OCG, and probably a lot of the list in the TCG here because YCS Pasadena just happened. It's finally done, and majority of the top card players were playing Ishizu tier elements. But regardless, this is my list, and my list is it's just a little bit different compared to the list that you guys have been used to seeing. So with all that, I'm gonna show you guys my Ishizu Tearlaments deck list. So for the tier elements, is really straightforward and nothing out of the ordinary. Tear Reinoheart, 3 Merrli, 3 Havnis, and 3 Scheiren. Like, you obviously play 3 Havnis, 3 Merrli, and the 3 Tearlaments because you want to see it, you want to draw it even. You want to see it even opening hand, but the double Reinoheart with the new Ishizu cards, you don't really need to maximize the Reinoheart because Reinoheart is effect to act as an extender. It becomes a little more easier to do and much more effectively since playing the Ishizu cards in the deck increases your chance of milling this card of like from the deck. So playing 2 is optimal. It's optimal. Okay, now the Ishizu cards. I am playing 3 Kelbek, 3 Keldo, and the 3 Mudora. And yes, I am not playing not even a single Agito in the main deck because by far I think it is, in my honest opinion, the worst Ishizu card and by far the most weakest. I don't like Agito at all. It is my least favorite Ishizu card compared to the other 3. Like Mudora and Keldo, you guys like already know how broken these guys are. Like both of them have effects where you can banish them from either field or graveyard and then target up to 3 cards in either player's graveyard and then shuffle them into the deck. Like that effect is really broken, and they also act as an extender where you can discard an Earth Fairy from your hand to the graveyard to summon it from hand. Where if you bring these cards out that way, they also get an additional effect where in the case of Mudora is places the Gatekeeper's trap from your deck if you do happen to play it, and the Keldo is such as a card from your deck that mentions exchange of the spirit, which is literally every Ishizu card that is legal in Magnus Mavens. But by far my favorite, in my honest opinion, all the Ishizu card is by the Kelbek. This card is really good, way better compared to the Agito. Like Kelbek is really good both going first and second. If you go first, and then if you happen to build it or discard it of a Scheiren in order to like start your play, where it makes both players mill 5, which is exactly what Agito does if it is sent to the graveyard. But this card does what Agito doesn't go in second, where if your opponent sends cards from their hand or deck to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand and then target one special summon monster they control and then return it to their hand. And Agito really doesn't do that going second. All it does is just like it brings itself out and then special a level 4 Earth Fairy from grave, which by the way is not gonna ever resolve if you're going second. And this card on the other hand going second, well, it does something. It acts as a form of interruption during your opponent's turn. Like, that's why I'm playing 3 callback as well. And like I said, Mudora and Keldo, they're just like really good. They're very broken. They are not weak cards at all. Now, the other normal summon that I want to commit in this deck, that's not the Reinoheart. They are the 3 copies of Diviner of the Herald. This card is really good. Way better compared to like just straight up normal summoning the Reinoheart. Like, this card is really good. Really good in the deck. Because if you normal or special summon this card, it mills any of the Earth Fairy from the deck to the graveyard. So your Mudora and Keldo, it becomes immediately aligned to have instant interaction with your opponent in the Ishizu Tearlaments matchup. And if you mill the callback, it mills by. So just normal summoning this card and send callback from deck to the graveyard. It mills 6. And then depending on what you mill, like a Tearlaments monster, another Earth Fairy, like her effect can go like from good to great to like insanely broken from there, depending on what got milled off of the callback. Like, normal summon this, mill this, and then you're instantly polishing 6 cards from the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Like, that's by itself is really good. And since this is a level 2, it can also it also synergizes really well with Elf and Sprind, and it is a tuner. So if you made an Earth Fairy, it becomes a level 6 tuner, which combos really well with your level 4 Tearlaments monsters to go into either Baronne or Chenyang, which I am playing both in the extra deck. And Baronne and Chenyang, they are really good cards right now. So 3 Divine of the Herald, really good cards, really optimal ratio to play 3. In fact, shout out to my client Orlando. He goes to my locals and he is playing 3 copies of this card. His words were like, this card is really good. Like, it synergizes really well with the deck. I think that's what he said, and I'm taking his words for granted. So into consideration, and I also am playing 3 Diviner in the main deck. Hand traps. 3 Herald of Orange Light. Really good. The Ishizu cards are fairies. Diviner itself is a fairy. So yeah, really good. Stop those hand traps. Like bells, crows, D-shifters, gamers, everything. Really good. Now, I'm playing Bystial cards to act as another form of hand traps. Which are the 3 Magnamhut, 2 Druiswurm, and the Saronir. I really don't like Saronir in the main deck, but the more Bystials you open going second or first, the higher chance of you like effectively winning in the Ishizu Tearlaments matchup. So that's why I'm playing these ratios. Like Magnamhut is by far is by far the better one compared to the other two because it searches any dragon from deck or grave at the end phase, and Druiswurm it sends a Spirit Summon monster if it gets sent to the graveyard, and Saronir it Foolish Burials one, which hardly comes up when you're like playing Ishizu Tearlaments, but the main reason why you're playing him is because of the decor effect. So now my main boss monster in the main deck, I like to give another shout out to a friend of mine, Jake. Jake told me to play this card in the main deck as a form of really big boss monster, and that is Archnemeses Eschatos. This card is really good. Searchable up of Magnamhut at the end phase, and then if you mill this, you can also grab it back with Magnamhut at the end phase. So this card is basically Praetos, which is banned by eSport hypes. So like I said, this is search up above Magnamhut, and what it does is that just like the Praetos, you banish 3 different types from your field or graveyard. Special summon this card, cannot be destroyed by card effects, and then what you can do is you call a monster type on the field, and then it destroys everything on the field with that type, and then either player can summon monsters of that type. So in the Spright matchup, you drop this, call Thunder, their boards get nuked, and then they cannot summon any more Sprite monsters on the following turn, because all the Sprite cards, they are Thunder. Or you can also like call Beast if they have like a Dimber Beaver on the field, and they cannot do Beaver in the Beaver play. And also in the mirror match, you can call Aqua if you manage to like drop this on board, and then your opponent cannot activate Scheiren. They cannot instant fusion in the Kitkallos if they sack the instant fusion, and yeah, this card is really good. Like the fact that it destroys everything of one type, and then it makes either player be unable to spell a summon of the destroy monsters type, and cannot be destroyed by card pack. It's big. It's 3K. It's like really good. Like, but the main reason why this card is in here is because my friend Jay told me to like tech this card in the main deck, and then I'm giving it a try. And like I said, card is searchable of Magnamhut, and in the main deck you're playing like a variety of types. Like you're playing dragons, you're playing aquas, and then you're playing fairies in the main deck. So it's really easy to like drop this in the deck. So yeah, those are the monsters. Now for the spells and traps. 3 planet, really good. Yeah, really good. The 4th planet in the form of terraforming. Insufficient. Card is really broken. This is might as well be a tier element card at this point. A lot of people think either this card or Kitkallos to get banned in the next list. But in my personal opinion, I think this card is probably gonna get banned. It is by far the much more ban-worthy card, because Kitkallos cannot get banned because we just got Rulkallos. So if you ban the Kitkallos, the deck cannot go into Rulkallos anymore. So yeah, so there's that. Moving on. Just one Scream. Like I said with the Reinoheart, you don't want to play 3 copies of this card in the deck anymore because of the Ishizu cards. Granted, I am only playing the 3 callback, but if the callback gets milled, or you just happen to discard it of a Scheiren, that's just like 9 cards right there. And then depending on like a mill, you might mill even more. Like I said, normal diviner send callback. That's 6. That's 6, and then if you happen to mill this off of the callback mill, where it searches a trap, and that's not counting the other cards that got milled from the 6. So this card, you don't need to like play 3 copies of it anymore. I tried to within the first version of this deck, but but then I feel like if I really need to like search this card out, I can search it over Kitkallos. So no reason to play like multiple copies of this card, let alone play 3 copies. And the last 3 cards are the traps, which are the 2 Sulliek and the Tearlaments Cryme. Alright. So yeah, that is the main deck. Main deck count is 42. Now for the extra deck. Just like the main deck, is nothing out of the ordinary, but I'm playing a few cards in here that are not of the norm. The Tearlaments fusions are the 1 Kitkallos, 1 Rulkallos, and the Kaleido-Heart. Kaleido-Heart and Rulkallos, they're really good. Kitkallos, it really bothers me to play 1 copy of this card. Like pre-Magnus Mavis, I was always playing 2 copies of Kitkallos in the extra deck. But with the post Magnificent Mavis, like the extra deck, it just became tighter and tighter. So I decided to drop the second Kitkallos and then play just the 1. Like in my honest opinion, these 3 fusions are like the most flexible, most resilient, and the really good fusion that I've seen in a long time. Like Kitkallos, it reminds me of Northern, like quite a bit. Now moving on with the other fusions, Garura, Dragostapelia, and the Mudragon. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Not for Exceeds, I play 2. 1 Baguska. This is basically here for like trap decks, and for legendaries, because legendaries they cannot really like easily like out discard that, and then if they happen to like out discard, they have to like play so many cards in order to out it. Dweller, because Dweller really broken in the mirror match. Like if you're going first and then you're playing in the mirror, just make Dweller. Yeah, that's all I'm about to say. Dweller is really broken in the mirror match. It prevents many chain links in the mirror. Just putting that out there. Not for synchros, I play Baron, because Baron is Baron. Chen Yang, which is my tech level 10 synchro of choice in the extra deck. You obviously both make these off of the diviner by milling an art fairy from deck to grave. Baron is Baron. It's an omni-negate. It's big. It pops cards. It tags out. But the Chen Yang is really good. It synergizes really well compared to the Baron, to a lot of the cards that you play in the main deck. Like this card, it combos really well with Mudora and Keldo, because if you make this and then you happen to have a Mudora or a Keldo in grab, you use their effect, shuffle their use their effect to shuffle cards back to deck, and then since they were banished in order to use their effect, Chen Yang's effect triggers to banish a card from their field and graveyard. So that's at least 5 cards right there. They just lost value. And in the mirror match, that can like really like mean a lot. And this card is really also really hard to get over in the mirror match because it's huge. And then their monsters, whatever they bring out, they become smaller depending on the cards that get banished. Like this card, is really well with the Earth Fairies, especially the Mudora and the Keldo, and it combos really well with the bestial monsters too, because you get to banish at least 3 cards. 1 card from their field and 2 cards from the graveyard. Like cards really good in the deck. It synergizes, like I said, really well with a lot of the cards that I played in the main and extra deck. Elf and Sprind. This is for the Merrli and Divine play. They are really good. Dark, cause deck is dark, really comes in really handy in the mirror. And I decided to play IP because I wanna play a lot of targets with the IP to either for in the case that I'm with the writer and wanna go first, and I wanna have another like boss monster to end up on in conjunction with the Baron and the Rulkallos, all along with Mudora and Keldo Engrave. And the RP target that I came into my mind while making this deck was either Apollousa, Goddess, and the Aramec. And I decided to go with the Aramax. This card is really hard to out in the Ishizu Tearlaments matchup because they cannot pop this card above the field spell. They cannot Sulliek this card. They cannot Kaleido-Heart this card away. Like this card is really like hard to out. Their main way or like trying to get rid of this card is either when you attack with this card and then Cryme its effect to gain attack when this card battles. Yeah, but by then Cryme is a going first card, and then if you make this guy going second, they probably want to like climb something else so that you can go into IP Aramax in the first place by going first. This card in conjunction with the Rulkallos, either the Baron or the Chinyan, it combos like really rare. That field it doesn't lose to Super Poly as well. If I decide to not go to Rulkallos and then make a Kaleido-Heart with the Dweller. Yeah, it doesn't lose to Super Poly. It does look the Dark Loader, but many people are not maining Dark Loader at the moment right now. At the very least, they are side decking it, and the only main decks that are making Dark Loader is like control deck, like Exorcister and Flunderies. But you can easily like outgrind those decks as well to a point where you can outgrind that effectively, and then from there you just like win the game. So yeah, that is a main deck and extra deck. Before I end this Zagreb video, I wanna talk about 2 cards that are worth playing in the main or at least in the side deck, and they are the Gravekeeper's Trap and the Exchange of the Spirit. My friend Orlando was maining these 2 in his Ishizu Tearlaments list. Yes, I'm giving you a shout out to you. So Exchange of the Spirit, you don't actually play this card for the shuffle graveyard with the shuffle the cards in the graveyard with the cards in the main deck by paying a thousand. You don't play this card for that effect. You play this card in the sole purpose that you wanna mill this card out. And the Ishizu cards, they gain bonus effects when you have this card in the graveyard. Like Keldo and Mudora, they can shuffle 5 cards from either player's graveyard if you have this engraved. And shuffling 5 cards is a whole lot better shuffling 3. And then Kelbek, if you have this card engraved, you can grab back a trap card in your graveyard and then add it to your hand. Thus, you get back your Sulliek and the Cryme. But the main reason why you want to play this card in the main deck, and why I think Orlando was playing this in his deck, is because of this card, Gravekeeper's Trap. This is a new card from Magnificent Mavens. That works really well if you have Exchange of the Spirit engraved. So what this card does is that it has 3 effects. So while you have this card in your graveyard, your opponent cannot activate card effects in the graveyard or special summon monsters from the graveyard. So going first, if you have this up and this card in the graveyard, not only you get to shuffle 5 cards by using Mudora and Keldo, your opponent cannot activate card effects in the graveyard or special summon monsters from the graveyard. This card is really good. Like, it makes playing versus Ishizu Tearlaments that much easier. It literally becomes another Vanish's Emptiness. This card's second effect is you can discard a card to search an Earth Fairy. So it searches your Ishizu cards for the following turn, and then its final and last effect is during your opponent's draw phase, before they draw, you can declare 1 card name, and then if you call that card right, it gets sent to the graveyard. But you play this card just in the deck for the Vanish's Emptiness effect. Like, that effect is so downbreaking. Like, if you play this in the mirror match, like I said, your opponent literally cannot play. They cannot fuse with Tearlaments monsters. They cannot use their Easter cards engraved. It's really good. I'm currently siding these 2 in my side deck, just for the fact that I want to have going first cards in the main deck in case I lose the dice roll, and then just lose game 1, going second. So yeah, that is my deck list. A really long one because it is almost 28 minutes. So yeah, without that being said, I'm gonna end this video by showing you these 2 Ari tokens because I am a huge Ari simp. Bah! Peace out, guys. Evil signing out. Peace out.